They say in Yoruba, a word without substance silences even the brave. A truth without proof destroys the man's soul. My people, the world of entertainment has once again been thrown into chaos as one of Nigeria's biggest music stars, Paul Okoye, popularly known as Rudeboy of the legendary PSquare, has been accused of one of the gravest crimes in existence. That is ROAP. Yes. But this time, Rudeboy is not laughing. He's not ignoring. He's not staying silent. He has vowed to fight with every resources in his arsenal to track down his accuser and make that person a scapegoat. Now, why has this matter gained so much fire, you want to ask, right? And what does it mean for both the accused and the accuser? Okay, let's talk about this, my people. Let's go deep into this conversation. Okay, the allegation came from an ex-user with the handle at Shubi Diva, who claimed that Rudeboy Rudeboy ROAPED and coerced his domestic staff, allegedly after sending his wife and sister-in-law out of the house. Heavy and very damaging words or accusations, you want to say, right? So in this age of social media, once such a claim is made, it spreads like wildfire. Unexpectedly, this news has really spread all over the tentacles of this country, and it's still spreading and reverberating even as yours sincerely, do this video. So outrage followed immediately. People debated, opinions flying left, right, center, everywhere. But here's the danger. When such words are spoken without proof, the damage they cause can outlive even the case itself. Rudeboy responded almost immediately, breathing fire, threatening fire and brimstone. And he said, I will find you. I will use every necessary means, power, resources, and money. You will face the law. I will use you to set an example, a scapegoat. He went further to say the only way out of the way for the accuser is to leave the surface of the earth and relocate to space. Strong words, words that show just how deep such allegations cut. Now pause for a moment, my people. Do we blame Rudeboy for taking this stand? I certainly don't, and I doubt if you do either. Because this is not just one of those small rumors you can sweep under the carpet. This is rape. This is RAP we are talking about, my people. This is RAPE, a crime that carries lifelong consequences for both the victim and the accused. In Nigeria and beyond, there have been countless stories of people accused of RAPE who were never found guilty, yet their lives never recovered. Because just the mere mention of the fact that you have been accused of that RAPE, it's difficult for your life to be the same again. Okay? So this is how critical, this is how serious this allegation is right now. Take, for example, the tragic story of a young Nigerian man, years ago, who was accused of RAP on campus. Even after the investigations cleared him, yes, the whispers never stopped. His family deserted him. His close friends treated him like a plague or a complete stranger. He could not get a job because his name was already stained online. In the end, he pied himself. Yes, he pied himself. The stigma pied him, not the allegation itself. And that is why I'm telling you guys, listen to the sound of my voice right now, that look, you see, this is not a small thing we are talking about here. The stigma alone can pie somebody. Yes, it is as bad as that. It is as deep as that. So there are countless cases worldwide. Okay, actors, students, politicians, some proven guilty, right? Some later found innocent. But one thing is constant. The stigma of RAP allegation is like smoke that never leaves your clothes. no matter how much you watch them. This is why Rudeboy has vowed to make an example of this accuser. Okay? He understands the danger of what is going on. He knows businesses could crumble, endorsements could vanish, family life could collapse, and even his mental health could be shattered by one single tweet. But the big question is this, my people. Why did this person make such allegation? Was it truly for justice? Or was it just a mere setup? A blackmail attempt? Or maybe just cruise? A dangerous social media joke? Whatever the reason, it is now clear that this is not a joke Rudeboy is willing to take lightly, and rightly so. In fact, if I'm in his position, I would do same, or probably even more. Okay? Another important angle that we need to look at this whole accusation or allegation from is the position of the law. Many Nigerians don't know this, but under the newly reviewed Cybercrime Act, making unverified allegations online can land you in very serious trouble. If an accuser cannot prove their claim, they could be charged for defamation, cyber stalking, and spreading false information. The punishment, you want to know? It ranges from heavy fines to years in imprisonment. So if this accuser has no evidence against a Rudeboy, he or she may be walking straight into legal destruction. But if indeed there is evidence that can be proven in a competent law, in a law of competent jurisdiction, then the law will take its course in the other direction. Either way, the stakes here are very, very high, my people. This entire saga should serve as a lesson to every one of you listening to the sound of my voice at this time. RAP allegations are not cruise. It's not one of those things you are going to say, oh, I just the cash cruise. I was just doing cloud chasing. Some of those very flimsy, unacceptable excuses that some people normally give. Okay? So that is what I'm saying. For those of you listening to the sound of my voice at this time, you must listen very, very carefully. Allegations of RAP is not a mere one. It is something that people take very, very seriously, and it has humongous, amount of implications and consequences for anyone accusing the other person of such. And this is not one of those things, like I said, you can say you were doing for cruise or for cloud chasing. They are not for petty fights or blackmail. They are matters of life and buying. Yes, because whether guilty or not, whether guilty or innocent, once your name is mentioned in that same sentence with RAP, your life may never remain the same again. Yes, just like the case we mentioned above, and several others that have happened in other crimes. Once that name has been mentioned with yours, it is never the same again. And I'm just going to wind up by saying this, my people. See, there is a Yoruba proverb that says, he who offers himself carelessly to the priest is no different from he who offers himself to the hunter. In other words, once your name is dragged into something this heavy, you are at the mercy of both man and the law. Yes, you heard me well. And this leads me to the big lesson from all of this. The big lesson here. Be careful what you say, whether directly or online. Just be careful what you say. Be careful what you type, and be very careful what you post. Because words, once spoken, as they say, can never be taken back. For Rudeboy, the battle line has been drawn. For his accuser, the days ahead will reveal whether this was truth or a dangerous lie. And as the world watches, one thing is sure: this story is far from over. And like I said, yours sincerely, is on ground to follow up on this and take it off further. Whatever it is that is coming out of Ruth's pursuit of this accuser, as soon as we have further update on it, yours sincerely will be the first to let you know. So, what do you think about this story that is just making the rounds all over the social media? Do you think that I mean, do you think that that person accusing Rude Boy, is doing he himself or herself any good by making this sort of wide allegations? Does this person truly know the implication of what he or she is doing, especially what the law says concerning the consequences of saying something without proper evidence? I don't think a lot of people understand this aspect. And I'm going to just use this medium to remind all of us, especially those of you listening to the sound of my voice at this time, that look, the days of just coming online and saying all manners of things without substantial evidence to back it up, those days are gone. The new Cybercrime Act, like you all know, most of you know by now, has been reviewed to deal with such reckless accusations, without substantial proof. Okay, this is all I will say at this time. So we've got to be very careful what we put out there. We've got to be careful what we post online, and we've got to be careful how we even give our phones to people, because somebody can be mischievous to go to your page on your own phone and put all manners of stuff out there that can land you in serious irreparable damage. Okay? So what do you think about this story at this time, my people? Please feel free to go to the comment section and leave your thoughts. And hopefully yours sincerely will meet you right there to take this conversation further. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.